Thank you, my dear. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
On this January day, it feels more like March or April. I don't know about you, but I took a walk yesterday and today outside, and it was wonderful. It brings me happiness and brings me to the moment. So today I was planning our spring break with my family. I have 2 kids, if you don't know me. By the way, my name's Susan McFarland. I know most everybody, but some people are new. Got to say thank you, John and Nancy, for having me here today, and to Miss Linda for the beautiful music. But I have 2 kids and 1 husband. I've had him for about 30 years now, so it's been a while. Yes, I got married at 10. But we're planning a trip to Zion National Park. Has anyone been there?
Yeah.
Yes. I haven't been there yet, but good stuff. So we planned our stay and looked at some of the hikes, and I got all excited. So instead of being where I was there. So apparently my talk is for me because I have a really hard time being where I am. Can anyone relate? So I have a question for you. Are you all here?
Yes. Tonight.
Is anybody not here? We're all good?
Here now.
Here now? Well, I appreciate everybody being here. And tonight I want to talk about wherever you are, be there. Which seems to be a really hard thing to do these days. With technology and everything going on in the world and everything going on in our lives, it's just tough, right? And Michael Joy talked about concentration and meditation, which really ties into this, found on our lovely, friendly Facebook. I'm sure a few of you are on that. But it says, here's a picture of a girl meditating or trying to meditate, being in the moment. Am I in the moment? Is this the moment? How will I know if I'm in the moment? I'm hungry. I want chips. That's kind of how my meditations go these days. Seems to be really tough to stay in the moment. So I'm going to read a little bit from Hamid Bey, but not as much. But I've gone through ministerial training, but when I went through ministerial training, self-mastery was not a requirement. So now I'm backtracking and I'm going through self-mastery. So it's a wonderful program. You get to study all about Hamid Bey, learn some yoga techniques, learn about nutrition. And as I was reading one of my lessons, because I am not a procrastinator, yes, so it was all about the now, which is kind of appropriate that I'm having this talk. Now I was supposed to give this talk in November and then December and now January. So this must be the moment, right? This is it. Like the universe is really trying to tell me something because, just wait for the moment. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. I'm not very patient sometimes, but the elusive future is always now. We live now, and yesterday is but an illusion. I liked yesterday, it was warm, but it's an illusion. It is gone. Now is eternity, not yesterday, not tomorrow. The hope of the future, the knowledge of the past, will make the present. The lessons you learn from past experiences are most valuable, whether they are good or bad, and we've all had a few good ones, and we've all had a few bad ones. Sometimes we learn the lesson better if it's a bad one, right? Even if you've had good times, do not look back, for you can have better times if you look forward, like my hiking out in Zion National Park. Your lesson of yesterday, together with the hopes of a cheerful, positive tomorrow, goes into the making of the eternity now. The greatest and most important moment of your life is always now. Did you get that? The most important of your life is right now. Like, right now, Linda. Yes. That's kind of important, isn't it? That's amazing. But if you transpose that now as it moves on and on and on, it will give you the illusion of moving into the future. However, it is always now. because you always will be between yesterday and tomorrow, which is today and every day. What an illusion, yet reality. So wise words from Hamid Bey. Mindfulness was not a buzzword back then. It is now. So I like mindfulness. I've been working on it for quite some time. As I said, you may have noticed I love to hike in the woods. Hiking a small section of the Appalachian Trail with my husband forced me to be where I was, or I would have tripped over stones or fallen off the side of the cliff. We hiked this summer outside of, I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, we hiked up this cliff, and it was called Lover's Leap, and I didn't want to leap off of it, so we had to be very mindful. Playing sports, creating art, or playing music engages our senses to the point where we have to be or suffer the consequences. Can you play sports and not be in the moment? Well, you can, but something bad could happen. Linda, do you have to be in the moment when you're playing? Can your mind just wander off and not really pay attention to what you're doing? It can now, because she's so good. It's not a good example, but
then
if I played music, I'd have to be in the moment. Right? So, recently I came across a book, and it was called A Sketch and a Prayer by Mike Werman. It's this book. If anybody's into hiking or the Appalachian Trail, this is what I read. I don't know what you people read. But I read books about hiking. I've probably read almost 10 books on someone hiking the Appalachian Trail. So that's kind of my genre right now. I used to read a lot of spiritual, metaphysical books, a lot of nutrition books. Now I'm into hiking books. So I read this one, and it has a lot of pictures. It's really cool. But he talks about the guy on the front of the page. I don't know if you can see him. He is a thru hiker. Has anyone thru hiked the Appalachian Trail? Does anybody want to? Jane?
Yeah.
Jane and I are going to go.
Yep.
Yes, Nathan too? Good. So anybody, about 5-6 years, my kids are graduated. That might be one of my hikes. But this guy, his name is Redlocks, and he has a quote, and he is quoted as saying, you just have to take the moment. And I like that. Take the moment. Just grab the moment. Carpe diem kind of, right? It's a good way to kind of get back in the moment. So what activity do you engage in that helps you take the moment? Michael?
Bathroom remodeling.
Bathroom remodeling. You can't remodel a bathroom and not be in the moment.
That's true.
You
It's like a nail gun.
nail like wow. Jim? James? Do you got any moments?
I have them all the time.
Yeah, maybe taking care of your animals?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? It's kind of being present with your animals?
I am.
Oh, that's cool. Nancy, do you have a activity that you engage in the moment?
Well, I like to paint, but that's kind of abstract. I mean, you can.
But yeah, but you're kind of, when you're painting, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
you're focused, right?
Yeah, I'm not reading a book, so.
No. Nathan, I know you like to be in the woods, so.
Yeah,
The woods.
and I was thinking art too, when I do
Art,
art, that
yeah.
takes me,
Yeah.
Exercise.
Exercise, very good. I do yoga. I know Jane does yoga and lots of other exercises, so. Exercise is one of the best ways to just be in the moment. How about you, Chad?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, one of them is mountain biking.
Mountain biking,
Yeah.
totally in the moment.
Yes,
You can't mountain bike and think about your work that you're doing, right?
that's right.
So it's good. So you guys got a lot of good activities. When we lack connection to breath, body, and spirit, we become diseased. Diseased or uneasiness correlates with the feelings of anxiety and can lead to depression. Life is intense. Does anyone not think life is intense? Because right now life is pretty intense. The more we engage technology or even life itself, the pressures increase. As we process all the incoming stimuli, and oh boy, have we had some incoming stimuli lately, so lots to process. Overwhelming feelings take over like a storm across the clear blue sky. These clouds are passing. Instead of trying to defend against them, hide from them, or collect the released water, it may be just good to get wet. Let the rain fall. Then you can dry off and move forward. If not, you just stay wet. Nobody wants to stay wet, do they? Sometimes it's just okay to let it all pass by you. Be the observer. Be the eye in the storm. Wherever you are, be there starts with mindfulness. Michael Joy mentioned that word. We were connected. Michael Joy and I are in self-mastery together. It's good. Last month I started a class called Mindfulness Fundamentals through mindfulschools.org. Mindfulness is about attention and awareness. It is not a concentration or a focus on one thing, but rather a recognition on your thoughts as they flow through your mind, acknowledging them and thanking them. So it's not about trying to clear your mind. It's about recognizing the thoughts that come into your mind and saying, hey, thanks for being here, but see you later. I don't need you anymore. It's kind of about being aware of what's coming in. Mindfulness can be a state, an awareness, or it can be a moment. Yeah. So what we're going to do, if someone could turn off the lights or just dim them a little bit for me. That's dim, yeah. Mindfulness can be considered a state, a trait, or a practice. We can have a moment of mindfulness, a state, but also each have a general set point of mindfulness, trait. We can do the intentional, formal practice of mindfulness using different postures, activities, and practice. So we're going to have a little mindfulness, so don't, everybody stay with me, don't leave, okay? I want you to breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. This time, breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose, counting until you reach 4, then releasing for 5 counts. Now do this 2 or 3 more times. Breathe in through your nose. Feel the breath at the end of your nose. Focus breathing in and out through the nose, feeling the breath. Count to 5 on your inhales and then on your exhales. Do this 3 or 4 times at your own pace. Now, take another breath deep into your abdomen or sacral chakra area. Breathe deep into your stomach, then release from the belly. As you breathe in, use an anchor word, such as inhaling or rising. As you breathe out, use a word like exhaling or falling. How does that feel? Has your energy shifted? Now that we have focused on breath, let us draw our attention to our body. Place your hand on your heart. Continue to breathe. Breathe in, then breathe out through your heart center. Be aware of your body and all its points of contact on the floor or on the chair. Feel your feet grounded into Mother Gaia. Be aware of any tension held in your body, perhaps in your neck or your back, your shoulders. Continue to breathe. Feel your heart open and expand. Send love to your body, especially the areas needing extra attention. Continue to breathe. Slowly start moving. Wiggle your toes, your arms, fingers. Breathe a little deeper. Come back to the room. Gonna turn on the light. Everybody still here? So you're gonna go away? We're all here? Everybody here? I'm not hearing from you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked you, how did it feel to connect to your breath? Good. This is not a one-sided talk. This is an, interaction, engagement. We're all in this together, right? Is it good to connect to your breath? Anyone want to share anything, any experience, or how was it to connect to the heart versus breathing through the nose or the throat? Any difference there? Is it deeper? All good?
All good.
Okay. Everybody still here? Well, that's a practice that you can use. Whenever you're feeling not in the moment, or whenever you find that your mind is wandering, or maybe you're in a stressful situation, maybe in traffic, maybe at a job and somebody is not so positive, come back to the breath. That's always a good place to start. So you can have a mindfulness practice. You can have a mindfulness practice and, get up in the morning and have a meditation, or perhaps you're an evening person and like to have it then. It can be a practice. It can also be a moment. And any time that you come back to your breath, having an awareness or putting attention to something, that's mindfulness. But it also can be a state of living, right? So it can go from your practice to the moment to the now, to being mindful at all times. And it's something I'm working on and have been working on, but certainly not always there. But I know it helps me dealing with 2 teenage daughters to be mindful. Chad, you relate to that.
Yes, I can.
It gives you, what it does is it gives me a pause. So taking that moment, instead of reacting, to having that pause. Because I usually like to react pretty quickly, and that's not always the best thing to do, especially when it comes to dealing with children or situations that might be stressful. So those are a few tips on mindfulness. Anybody have any questions? All good? Everybody still here? So in moments of stress, you have the power to bring mindfulness back to your mind, body, and spirit by being where you are, feeling it and breathing through it. It's okay to feel it. A lot of times we want to hide from our feelings, right? We want to zone out, check out with, food or TV or the internet or Facebook, but it's okay to feel your feelings. That's part of being human. And just breathing through it. We will survive. This allows space between the chaos. It allows a moment of pause to silence and calm the inner turmoil and bring your awareness back to the present. Practice being where you are in order to live life to its fullest potential. Namaste.